And hello to episode 5.
Yes, sir.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Drew.
And this is Borderline Theology.
Roll the intro. Sick trap beat, bro.
That is some sick beat.
Sick beat, dude.
We know you guys are just humming that beat all day in your head.
Yep.
It's good stuff. So we did shorten the intro.
Yes.
You're welcome for all of you out there that couldn't stand a full 30-second intro.
We're already
now it's like,
we're already changing for our haters, Steve. This isn't good.
man,
I know.
we
We have to go back to who we were.
it's we got to get back to our roots.
yeah.
We're letting the fame and celebrity change us.
I know. Well, we're being influenced by people.
Yeah. It's not an easy life. I mean, people always think like, I wish I was the host of a successful podcast. No, you don't.
I wish I was Steven. One day there might actually be somebody who says that, and I really feel bad for that person.
Yeah. Whew. I mean, again, we are regular guys.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to say this every episode.
Regular might be a loose term. We might be a little bit indifferent.
Right. But we're not exceptional guys. We're not anyone to put up on a pedestal.
No.
I mean, yes, you can have posters of us on your wall in your room.
And
that's acceptable.
yes.
But don't just dream about being Drew or Steve, because,
We should get fat heads of ourselves. Do you
Like
know
a
what those are?
bobblehead?
No. Fat heads.
what's a fathead?
Fat heads were things back in the day where they took like NFL athletes, and instead of a poster, it was a giant sticker. And you put it up against your wall.
Right. Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a life-size stick. We should get fat heads.
Would you guys buy those? You would buy those, wouldn't you?
I have a Joe Young one.
I'd buy one of me.
I put it on my ceiling, so every time I look up, I see Joe Young.
Oh my God. And you know what? So last episode, we were hoping Joe Young was going to stop by.
I know, and he didn't.
And he didn't.
What a guy.
And again, today, we're hopeful that he may stop by, but he probably won't.
He is famous. He does have things to do, on the grind to be famous.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
He's got, he's got places to go, people to meet, fans to write out autographs for. But we're hopeful someday he's going to stop by.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. So on the set today, you can see a new coffee mug here. I don't mean to imply that I'm the best worship leader ever, but I did give this coffee mug to my wife for Christmas, and now I stole it back for the show because she really is the best worship leader ever.
Yeah. No, for real.
Yeah.
No.
She's awesome.
Yes.
She is awesome. And now we've actually said what her job was. We're going to try to keep her out of the limelight.
We're keep her out of the limelight. We really have brought her up the past couple episodes.
I know.
I feel
People
like,
found out she's Joe Young's mom.
I know.
And she's the best worship leader ever.
Yeah, I know.
So
Oh boy.
eventually, I mean, there's no protecting our families from the fame and the celebrity. It's going to get out there.
Yeah, I know. It's
So, I've been walking down the street and I've turned my head and I thought I saw something in the bushes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't see anything, but I'm pretty sure there was a photographer.
Oh man, TMZ.
Yeah.
TMZ is going to be all over us.
So I haven't actually caught them yet, but I've had my suspicions. I feel like I'm being watched.
There's already going to be fake headlines about us.
Yeah. Steve and Drew have alien baby.
Are they actually bald or is it just a bald cap? No, ma'am. It's male pattern baldness.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh, man. Steve, you want to explain the guitar?
The guitar. So we have a new prop here in the center of the table every single episode. And I have a collection. I'm not a big collector of things, but a while back, my kids bought me this guitar. And I think it was from a beach or something somewhere. And they bought it for me. And it was that's really cool. It's a little mini guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then everywhere I started going, I realized that they had these guitars everywhere. You know what I mean? So every time we go on vacation, I'm always looking for these little guitars. And then I've gotten some additional ones. This was a Christmas present a few years ago from wife and the kids. And it is a replica of Eddie Van Halen's guitar, who was a big guitar influencer when I grew up, one of my guitar heroes, if you will. So yeah, so we have, and I have a Van Halen hoodie on today, 5150, the name of one of their albums.
That's a Dirk Bentley song too.
The name of one of his actual studios named 5150. Yeah, huh. Yeah. It actually is a police code apparently for a deranged person.
Or
really? Something like that.
Oh well, that's kind of.
We got a 5150 here.
Yeah, that's like swatting. We talked about that last episode.
We did, and if you don't know what swatting is, you obviously didn't watch the full episode.
The last episode
4, because we're in episode 5 now.
I think it's nice that you call it a guitar, and I call it a guitar, because I started calling that when I first started college as a joke, and at the end of my first semester, I had to make a speech, and the speech was demonstrating how to play guitar. And it was so hard for me to say guitar and not guitar, because I've been calling it guitar just as a joke for forever, and now that's what I call it.
No way.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's like the dumbest thing that I've ever done, but it's so casual now. That's like when I say, like, if I'm describing myself to somebody, I have to like fight myself to not say I play the guitar. I play the guitar. Like,
so that reminds me of a movie. There's a movie, I'm sure you haven't seen, called The Other Guys. Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell. They're both cops. They're partners. And the one guy, Mark Wahlberg, his ex-girlfriend's a ballet dancer. And he goes to the ballet studio. He's trying to win her back or whatever. He's like, you don't think I can do this kind of dance? And then he starts doing ballet dance, like, and he's really good at it. And afterwards, Will Ferrell's like, that you were an amazing dancer. He goes, me and my friends just started doing that to make fun of people that dance. He's like, wait, you learned how to dance that good sarcastically? Like, and that's exactly you with guitar.
Yeah, I said it as a joke because my one buddy
that's awesome
that I haven't talked to in a while, I should probably text him. And he's really, really, really country. Mm-hmm. And so country that he's from the northern part of the United States. And he has a southern accent because he's so off in the woods. That's just how they talk.
He's listened to so much country music, he's picked up their accent.
Yeah. Great guy, but he has a southern accent. And we're like, oh man, like as a joke, I'm like, he's like, hey, you gonna go get the guitar? And I was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna go get the guitar. He came back, and now
this guy's talking my language.
That's all I say is guitar, man.
And you actually say it just comes natural now.
Yeah, now it's I have to fight myself and say guitar.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It's weird, yeah. And did you, speaking of cops and guitar and my buddy, there was a situation where we were in college and we're just hanging out. We're playing Xbox in my buddy's room, and they were roommates, my two friends, and he was out hunting. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, it's like 11:30 at night, and we get a phone call from him. He's like, hey, I'm in the middle of the state forest, and I rolled my truck, and my phone's on 3%. You guys got to come find me.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was like, what are we going to do? I was like, you ever go to the Game Lands? He's like, my other buddy's like, no, we never been to Game Lands. I'm like, turn your location on Snapchat. Because Snapchat has that map, and your little Bitmoji guy will show up on the map. So I'm like, even if your phone dies, your location will still be on, your last known location. I was like, so stay there.
Stay there, don't move.
And put it on. So here
unless there's a bear chasing you, then try to just run in circles.
He had a gun.
Oh, yeah. Okay, he's hunting.
Yeah. So we're out.
Social media to the rescue again.
So we're out, and I'm telling my buddy where to go via Snap Map to find him. And we found him. So
with Snap Map.
Yeah. So we get back out, we get him, and he's all dizzy. He definitely had a concussion. He rolled his truck and totaled it.
Oh my gosh.
In the woods, yeah.
Wow.
So it was no big deal. And we're like, you want to go to the hospital? And he's like, nah, I'm good. So we're like, okay.
Did you unroll the truck?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was good. And he's like, yeah, my dad's going to come get it in the morning. We were just going to leave it there, and we figured he had it all figured out, right? We get back to campus. It's like 12:15, and it's like Saturday morning now at this point. It's going to be Saturday morning soon. Actually, it is 12:15.
Yeah, 12:15.
And the campus police are waiting there for us. They're like, are you so-and-so? Or he's like, yeah. Your mom called. We got to check on you because you rolled your truck. And he's like, are you good? He's like, yeah. Do you want to go to the hospital? He's like, no. Like, okay. So then it's like 12:30. Things are winding down. We're figuring out what's going on. He gets a phone call from the Pennsylvania, from the state police.
Edit that out.
Okay. It's like 12:30. He gets a phone call from the state police, right? And he goes, hey, you guys, if you don't go back to the scene of the accident in the next half hour, you can get arrested for fleeing the scene of an accident. And we're like, okay, so now we got to drive back out there. He's all concussed. So like my friend answers the phone and he's like,
so you're just supposed to hang out in the woods?
Well, I didn't know that when you get in an accident, you have to call the police. That's how I learned that.
Was it on like a trail or a real road that he was on?
It was on. So there's like industrial roads in the woods because of the industry in the area.
Logging and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was on one of them. So it wasn't like, it was a real road, but it wasn't like, it didn't have a name. It just had a number.
Yeah.
So we go back out there and we're not letting him use his phone because he's clearly concussed and he can't look at the lights and stuff. So he's laying down on the back seat, not using his phone. So I'm navigating him back out to where we went. Okay.
Oh my God.
And we get another phone call from the state police. And the cop's like, hey, are you guys there yet? And we're like, yeah, we're here. Where are you guys? Like, we're lost. We don't know how to get there.
Cop, do you have Snapchat?
So we back. Hey, officer, what's your snap real quick? So yeah.
Let me send you a snap map.
So we pull over at like the entranceway where there's like a ton of bright lights. Horrible place to pull over for my buddy who has a concussion. It's literally like 1 a.m. and there's semi trucks flying down this road going to where we're parked in front of, getting into there, right? Because they just work at all hours, I guess, right? And then the cop calls again. And we're like, do you want us to come get you? And they're like, no, because you have to stay at the scene of the accident. So like, where did you turn? So my buddy's on the phone with the police. I'm on Snapchat looking at all the turns that we had to make. And we're telling him the roads, right? And we're like, hey, listen, we're pulled over. We got our 4-ways on. We're by the big area with all the bright lights. Like you'll see our car. And as we're on the phone, all we see is the police car going like 60 miles an hour around the turn. Get there. Almost hits us because we're parked on the side. And then we roll down the windows and the cop is mad. He is mad.
Wow.
For whatever reason, right? He's just really angry and really bitter.
Yeah.
So hey, is this where the accident was? And we're like, no, it was actually like 15 minutes that way. Well, then why are you meeting here? And we're like, sir, you called? It's like you couldn't. We were on our way back to get you. Like. So then we get out to the scene of the accident. He's looking around. He's outside. He's like suspecting the ground, looking for like cans. Like we're college kids. Yeah. Like he thought we were drinking and driving. And we're sitting on the hood of the cop car just cracking jokes the whole time because we're like, this is so stupid. Like, why are we out here? Like we're just like making fun of the whole situation. The cop is not having any of it. You could tell he's getting frustrated.
Oh my God.
And then at the end of it, right? It's like 2 a.m. He comes over, he goes, all right, well, you feel like you have to go to the hospital? He's like, no. He goes, what are you going to do with the truck? He's like, my dad will be here at 6 a.m. to get the truck.
Which is about 15 minutes.
Which is like 4 hours from now. And the guy's like, all right, you're good to go. And we're like, we drove all the way out here? He's like, yeah. He goes, you weren't speeding. There was no signs on the road. And the cop, he was actually chill at the end. He's like, sorry for being so rude. He's like, I was 15 minutes away from getting off my shift. He goes, when I get a call that college-age kids were out in the middle of the woods, rolled their truck, and didn't tell anybody for an hour later.
Yeah.
He goes, because if you were drinking, you would have had time to sober up. He's like, and then you wouldn't have got in trouble. So the cop had like a total conception of what he was going to go see.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to see a bunch of drunk college kids out there, not normal guys who were concerned for their friend. Like who rolled their truck, and we were just like, yeah, sir, like we're good, like we're just hanging out, like we were literally playing Xbox, like, and then we got the call. So yeah, his mom called the police because that's what you're supposed to do.
He didn't know.
I guess for like insurance purposes, you have to do that. Yeah. I didn't know that. I was like, okay, his dad's gonna come get the truck. Like,
yeah,
he's redneck. They're just gonna fix it.
Yeah. I got a hammer.
Got some duct tape, some WD-40, be all right. But so yeah, I'm like, okay, like we're gonna
keep some tools in my guitar case.
I got 2 guitar cases.
One's got a guitar.
One's for the guitar. The other one's to fix the truck if I ever total it. And the guy is like, is there any weapons in the truck or anything? And my buddy's like, nah. he's like, all right.
Just all my hunting rifles.
And he didn't tell him. And then he forgot because he's concussed. And we're like, okay, he's fine. Like, that's it. Like, we totally forgot that he was concussed because sometimes he's just goofy because he's a redneck and that's how it is.
Oh my
So then we get back to the campus again. It's like 2:30 in the morning and we're all tired. And he goes, yo, guys, it's a good thing you didn't look in my truck. And we're like, why? He's like, I had all my rifles in there.
Oh my God. That's it. You're going to jail. Wow.
It was...
Well, now I see why you don't watch movies, because your life is like a movie.
It's my life. Stupid things just happen in my life. And like some of the things, it's like people would think I made it up. Like last time, a couple weeks ago, going to worship practice, I was almost late because my debit card got stuck in the gas pump.
It was probably one of those things where they were trying to steal your number. They put these extra little things over the top, and like when you slide your card in.
I just pulled it out. I was like, no, I'm getting this puppy out of there. So I yanked it out, and when I went into the gas station to pay, the reader wouldn't work. The chip wouldn't work. So I'm like, oh, here we go. And then I swipe it, and the swipe doesn't work. And I'm like, I have money. Like I can pay. I was like, I only want $15. Like, I have $15 in my bank account. Like, it's one of those awkward moments where the kid working behind the gas counter has like a really nice Rolex on it, and here's me not being able to pay $15.
So it's because the podcast royalty check didn't come in yet.
Yeah, that's what it is. So literally, catch me just yanking on my card like at the gas pump, and I get here and everybody's saying like some rough things that happened, and I was like, yeah, I was late because like my gas card got stuck, and it's always something. Like it's never like it's never like a good day where I go to worship practice, I get there 15 minutes early and nothing bad happens. It's like, no, like I couldn't find my sneakers, or it's like, or like the shower wouldn't warm up. And then it's like, now my card got stuck in the machine.
But you know, when we were talking about the screw tape letters in a previous episode, if you haven't watched that, go back and
I'll go back and watch.
But I mean, sometimes there's distractions that.
Yeah, that's literally all I thought about. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, like this is going to happen?
Yeah. He knows you're doing a good thing. You're trying to get to worship practice. You're trying to get there on time. You're trying to
my card gets
do
stuck,
something to use your gifts and talents.
Twice.
Boom.
I have $15 in my bank account.
I'll show you on my app.
I literally got I went to the ATM to check my balance. I had the receipt for my balance in my wallet. I was like, I know I have enough money to do this. And then, it's my life is literally like that. It just happens. It's just...
So I think, at some point, I have a passion about this, like finances and all kinds of stuff, and following Dave Ramsey, living debt free and stuff like that. I had an experience when I was about your age. I was probably a few years older, and I got a car loan, and the car loan was $300 a month, and the bank was only taking out $3 a month. So, and
how long was that going on
and
for?
I didn't so I ended up, I was taking a Sunday school class actually at my church, and they were talking about finances and stuff like that. And they're like, so here's some homework for next week. Go home and find out like what's the payoff on your car and what's the payoff on different loans, and just get a picture of where your finances are. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So I call the bank that week, and the payoff for my loan was like $3,000 higher than my original loan. And I go, wait, this isn't right. My loan was only for this much. And they're like, uh-oh. And they're like, we think we've been taking out less than your payment was supposed to be. Yeah. And it wasn't even enough to cover the interest. So my loan actually grew in the year and a half.
Did they take it off?
So we had this whole big discussion because I was like, they're like, you should have noticed that we weren't taking out the full amount. I'm like, you should have noticed that you weren't taking out the full amount.
That's your job. that's your job.
So we finally agreed to restart the whole thing at the original amount.
That's good.
And yeah. So I couldn't. So after that, I was like, I need to get a grip on my finances.
Yeah.
So then I kind of went on this whole thing and wanted to just like get out of debt and do all this, try to live within a budget and all this stuff. So it's been it's been great. And then read a bunch of books on this stuff. And Dave Ramsey, I follow him a lot. He's helped me a lot, and it's been a good thing. So I do have a passion about that. So maybe we'll talk about it, because I think that could be helpful for some people.
Yeah,
out there.
I mean, I can gladly say I don't sit down and write out a budget. But, like, I'm very careful about what I spend my money on.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I don't buy on-brand stuff ever. And, like, I will only buy, like... It's weird because I'm conscious of what I paid for in recent weeks. Mm-hmm. So I know, like, oh, if I got paid X amount of money, I can't spend 25% of that or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So then, like, if I spend over what I should have last week, I will underspend the next week.
Right.
So...
Yeah. And that, I mean, it's just in this society, it's so easy to get, you know what I mean?
I mean, especially when things are pushed at you so much. I feel like social media, like I follow so many upstart clothing brands that I want to buy from.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, I know I can't, because that's how you develop bad spending habits. So I just follow them and look at them.
Right.
And then hopefully maybe one day be a sponsor for one of them. And
if you're out there and you're an upstart clothing company and you want to be on a hip new,
hip,
podcast,
as the kids say it.
We're currently open to, interviewing some potential sponsors.
Yeah, I'm a giant hat guy. So, like, if anybody has hats that they want me to wear, I will gladly wear.
If anyone has giant hats, he doesn't like normal size hats. He's a giant hat guy.
I need me one of them 10-gallon hats right there
from a guitar. So. Yeah, so I think at this point of the show, we need to last episode, if you recall, we ate some crickets.
Yes, that was awesome. I would love to eat those again. I know that's weird.
Yeah.
But like, I would totally eat those again.
There was something in a previous episode, I don't know if it was 1 or 2. We were talking about going to Nashville and all the first that Drew had, and he ate sushi for the first time.
Yes.
And he was like, he loved sushi.
Yeah.
And we actually talked about some good gas station sushi.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I did not get gas station sushi.
Yes. Yes.
And then we were talking about my anniversary being 2 days after Valentine's Day, and Drew was all about the candy. He's like, yeah, you get the candy.
Yes.
So I happened to come across candy sushi. So this is sushi.
Is that soy sauce?
It's candy. So mini gummy sushis. From a company called Raindrops. Enjoy the adventure. So, Drew, I thought since you like candy and you like sushi.
Oh, that's gummy soy sauce.
It's like stuck on there. Is that a marshmallow? What is that?
Wow, that actually smells pretty good. I can smell that from here.
Oh, wait. We got to open the soy sauce, though.
Oh, it's gummy soy sauce.
Well, it's like a...
Is it just going to taste like... Is it just going to be a gummy salt thing?
I don't know.
I'm actually intrigued. Well, what is that?
So, I don't know if that's supposed to be like red sauce and dark sauce.
Well, we definitely have to try all of this.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
All right. What do you want to start with? What is this?
I don't know.
All right.
I mean, there's 2 of these, so maybe we'll start with one.
We'll start with...
So this is we got some fish on top of a rice, but it's really
surprisingly
gummy on top of a marshmallow.
The gummy fish is more stale than the gummy marshmallow.
I mean, it doesn't smell bad though, right?
It smells like a Swedish fish on a marshmallow. That's what this smells like.
So it's another first for Drew and actually me. I've never had candy sushi. That is a really chewy gummy. I gotta say, I like the crickets better.
If my gummy wasn't rock solid, it'd be awesome.
That is a hard gummy. I feel like we both shouldn't have done this at once because we can't talk.
We should have put it in the microwave and made it softer. Can you put marshmallows in the microwave? That's something I would do. That's something stupid that I would do.
You know, at Easter time, those little peeps, the little chicks that are like yellow and marshmallowy. Mm-hmm. Apparently, if you put those in the microwave, they totally blow up, like fill your whole microwave kind of thing. We'll have to try that.
I guess not. All right, next one. We have to take turns doing. So I could interview you and you could answer.
Right, because if you are watching this, I'm sure you're getting you're having fun watching us try to, get these down. But if you're listening to us, that was probably pretty lame.
That was probably pretty awkward because that whole time you stayed close to your mic and casually just munched, and it was like that, and it's like.
But I wanted the listeners
listen to that.
Some people,
that's called something.
If you're riding in your car, all of a sudden you're like, "Did my podcast app just die?" Like, why is silent?
Why is this man's?
But as long as they can hear my chewing, they know we're still here.
Why is this man chewing the microphone real quick? Hold up, I gotta go to Urban Dictionary real quick. You talk.
Can I just say? I think I have a gummy stuck in my throat. Can I just say
you
that?
would. It was rock solid.
If somebody would have said to me, "You're going to try crickets and you're going to try gummy sushi, and you're going to like the crickets better," I don't think I would have believed them. But again, this would have been tasty if the gummy wasn't so rock solid.
Yeah, if it wasn't like chewing a Jolly Rancher on a marshmallow, it would have been great.
That one seems hard. Wait, I'm poking everything.
Let's see if we can hear this.
Gummies are supposed to be like gummy. Otherwise, they'd be called Rockies.
Where's the microwave?
So,
oh boy.
Yeah, we may not be able to choke the rest of these down.
I'm gonna try to chew this. You just talk.
All right. So, I read a joke recently that a Catholic priest, a rabbit,
oh boy,
and a Baptist minister walk into a bar, and the rabbit says, "I think I'm a typo." You're supposed to be a rabbi. Get it? Catholic priest, a rabbit, and a Baptist minister walk into a bar, and the rabbit says, "I think I was a typo."
Oh, I get it. I'm sorry. I was focused on chewing because when you're chewing something that, sounds like a rock on the table, you have to focus.
I feel bad because I actually was trying to engage you in a joke and you were focused on eating hard gummies.
Yeah, okay, you're up. Let's try one of these yellow things.
Just going to eat that real quick. That doesn't seem as hard.
This actually doesn't seem that bad. Show the camera.
It's supposed to be...
What is it supposed to be?
I think whenever you see these little dots on sushi, they're like fish eggs.
Oh.
So, down the hatch.
That's still pretty rock solid. How old is this candy?
Well, it was only a couple days old from the store, but...
Pretty good.
Could have been sitting in the store for quite a few years.
No, you mean people don't go out and buy candy sushi? Oh, there goes the camera.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go fix that.
Yeah, go ahead.
You keep eating the sushi.
Sounds good. All right, so I'm gonna try a string of the soy sauce. Who thought of this? Somebody makes their living saying, "You know what? I want to make soy sauce gummy." Wonder how salty this is gonna taste. That's actually pretty good. It's
really?
It's like licorice. Like a Twizzler, except just a little bit more terrible.
It kind of looks like one of those larvae.
Yeah, except not as good. This is perfect because, it is close to lunchtime.
It is. So there you go. So I think every episode we're gonna try to do something fun here.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna eat this brown thing. whatever it is.
You keep eating that. I'm gonna move on to our next segment while Drew finishes up this candy sushi.
Sounds good.
We on one of our episodes we've done a book review. We'd like to periodically bring out some books that we think you may enjoy. As you recall, on one episode, I actually tried. I mentioned like a guy I knew read a bunch of books last year, and it kind of set me. I was like, I need to read a lot of books this year. Like I need to focus on that. So I had this book at home and I hadn't started reading it yet. And I picked it up because it's really small and I want to check off a lot of books this year. So I'm like, hey, if I read a small book, that'll help me read more books.
Is there pictures in it too?
There's no pictures in it.
Oh, no.
But so there's a worship leader out there. His name's Chris Tomlin. And his pastor of his church is named Darren Whitehead. Actually, at Church of the City in Nashville, where we were at. He's the pastor of that church. So one time, Darren gave a sermon on the word praise in the Old Testament. If you go to the Hebrew, there's like 7 different words in Hebrew. And when it got translated to English, they just called it all praise. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As some of you may be familiar, there's like 4 different words for love. One's like an erotic love, one's like a brotherly love, one's an, unconditional love. They're the same thing as for praise. There's 7 different Hebrew words used different times throughout the Old Testament that mean praise. So he dives in this book, Holy Roar. It was actually a sermon, and then they turned it into a book. So it's pretty cool because he talks about these 7 words, what they mean, and then the parts of the Bible that the people were actually using that word as praise. And it really so the first one is like raising your hands. The second one is like it might be like music. There's a whole bunch of different ones. There's another one that's like more of a Thanksgiving type of praise. So it's really interesting. It's a short read, 7 words that will change the way you worship. But it's all 7 different Hebrew words that are, that mean praise in the Old Testament.
Raising your hands to praise is like, it's weird. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I never knew how freeing it felt.
Yeah.
Until I did it.
Yep.
And like so the first time I did it was when we saw Red Rocks.
Yes.
In concert. And then I would try to do it in church and I couldn't get my arms fully extended. For whatever reason, every time I would do it, my hands would like shake uncontrollably. As weird as I literally couldn't get it up past here because if I started doing this, I would just.
Interesting.
Yeah. So then last couple weeks ago at church, I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm just going to
do it.
Yeah. So now I got my arms up, but when I open my hand, it twitched. I don't know what it is.
Really?
Yeah. It's weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know why. I have that sort of sensation or why it happens. But like,
I don't know.
It would be weird because if somebody looks back at me and they spaz
somebody get
out.
the ambulance.
They see you spazzing out. Worship so good, it causes twitching. Like I have no idea why it's like that.
Yeah.
Maybe Pastor Dan.
Honestly, maybe there's like this little kind of battle going on where it's like,
maybe I have no idea. Maybe I was, but I was like, no, like I'm going to do it. Like it's going to happen. So I literally just powered through it.
That's
was weird.
Awesome. So we won't go through all 7 words, but I'll just mention the first one because it's related to this. It's called Yada. I think I'm saying that right. So Yadah. And that's the Hebrew word that they first talked about, the first of the 7. And it says to revere or worship with extended hands, to hold out the hands, to throw a stone or arrow. That's another thing. But in Psalm 67:3, an example of this is, may the people's praise, or Yada you, God, may all the people's praise Yada you.
Nice.
So, so there's definitely parts of the Old Testament where they're praising with hands lifted up, extended hands, things like that. And that's just one of the 7. It's a pretty cool concept, though. It's just it's an interesting read. It's not a long read, so I'm going to be able to check it off my book list pretty darn quick.
Nice.
So there you go.
Nice. And then on that note, I feel like we hit our time limit.
I think we did.
Nice.
I mean, we have had feedback that
we need to be shorter.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Not taller, shorter.
Shorter.
So, yeah. So I'm Steve.
And I'm Drew.
Stay classy, Sushi.